Good afternoon, Tactics. Mike Duke, good to meet you. For those of you I have not met before, welcome to my second ever video cast, my effort here to continue to advance myself in technology. First video cast was last semester, motor behavior, and I promised most of you that I would give it a shot here, and that's where I'm at with it here, trying to spice up online learning a little bit here. I hope that your experience is going well. As I mentioned to you before, I appreciate your patience, and I definitely appreciate your feedback as I go through this for the first time. This is the first class that I have designed to be taught online, and as I mentioned, I'm going through that step process here of truly developing it kind of as we go based upon what I've done in the past in the classroom. So I appreciate your patience with me, and definitely appreciate your feedback to continue developing this. If this is your first online class that you're taking, I hope that you're embracing the nature of online learning and really keeping up with the readings and reading your fellow classmates' postings and really engaging and thinking about what's going on. And to look at where we're at right now, going into week 8, and the class itself, tactics and strategies of coaching, maybe a little misconceiving in the sense that we're not talking X's and O's here of playing a game as much as we are looking at strategies of development as a coach, as an administrator, things that we're doing, which is why we're really going to see those two common themes here throughout. We started off with the leadership piece and really understand some things relative to leadership philosophy, how you believe and what you believe in, how you do what you do, and how you put it out there for those that that you lead. And then looking specifically at the sports science research and understanding the literature and understanding the development of expert coaches. So with that, today I want to talk about Cote's and Cote's colleagues about the coaching model and briefly give my perspective on it. And I'd like to comment that just in reading your discussion postings that everyone really got the gist of it that I wanted you to get from it. And I apologize about the really poor copy of it, but you're really getting the gist of it. That it was about interviewing 20-something expert Canadian coaches, and what are we trying to discover? We're trying to look and find are there similarities in regards to how these expert coaches do what they do. How do they evolve from being a novice coach to an expert coach? And with that, much like you had mentioned as well, is really finding those three common areas of organization, training, and competition as being part of the model itself, and understanding how we look at that from a model perspective. How do we understand the aspects of contextual aspects that are part of affecting the model itself? So with that, I want to just break it down, and I want to take a look at each one of the areas and then give some examples in regards to things that I've used and I've applied it as in regards to coaching. And first looking at the aspects of organization, really understanding some of those different aspects as we think about training being over here, competition being over here. We're over here in organization. Okay, well, we're thinking about all these other things, here during the organization. And so, what kind of things are going on, during that organizational time, as a coach being one of those primary categories. And depending upon what level you are, some of these may vary. But at the high school level, we absolutely deal with parents. Parents are that's a non-stop type of thing. It seems like that parents are part of what's going on, and our communication with them is important. As we develop our coaching meeting, coaching parent meeting, as we look at the manual we put out for our athletes and those types of things that are going on, and really focusing on those administrative pieces, as a staff, being able to step back from the season, evaluate how things went, taking a look at personnel things, making some decisions in regards to what direction we're going with the program, what types of things that we're doing during this time. Really also having the opportunity during the organizational piece to focus on the aspects of developing the plan in regards to training. Being able to really critically look at what it is that you're doing in regards to planning for training. Looking at it from a yearly perspective and looking at the aspects of the competition part of the season, and then looking over here at the aspects of the off season. What kind of things are going on. And specifically looking at it, and personally has been part of my methods of planning. And I currently coach football and track. I don't have as much a role in planning the daily aspects, and that kind of takes care of itself in football, the way football is structured. But track, I'm the boys and girls hurdle coach, so I'm responsible for a specific group of athletes and have complete control over what these athletes are doing from one day to the next. And so I put together a season plan that is broken down week by week, that gives me some understanding of the things that we're trying to accomplish in regards to developing week by week, understanding when competition is, understanding when we're competing, and also understanding as we continue to move through the season, when do we want to be peaking as an athlete. So what kind of things are going on. So the seasonal plan is built off of that and thinking about that. Now, does it change? Sure, it changes. I mean, the environment affects things that are going on. We can't predict injuries and different things that happen relative to that. So we're looking at how do those things affect what we're doing from a seasonal perspective. It takes us to the daily plan. So aside from the seasonal plan, I do a daily plan. And much like you read about Coach Wooden, part of his repertoire of leading people and coaching in the moment was he took notes. He wrote things down, and he logged these and kept these things in a journal that he would go back to and take a look at to be able to make some distinctions. And I found that I started doing some similar things in regards to my daily practice plan. I have a clipboard. I have a worksheet that I've created that has some check boxes and some things to organize the structure of the workout. I have, if we're doing timed repeats or something like that, I have places to write in things. So very kind of organized with that, but I also have the opportunity just to kind of jot some things down and make some notes in regards to things that I'm seeing about the athlete. So I personally use the seasonal plan. I use the concept of a weekly plan as well as a daily plan, and this is part of that organizational phase, as a coach. The other piece that I see being such a big piece of this time, especially this time of the year, when we think about when you're organizing and dealing with the administrative aspects of your team, that you are focusing on your team, focusing on the things relative to team development. So looking at some of the different aspects in regards to individual goal setting, spending time with individuals and helping them create vision and think forward in regards to the specific goals and objectives that they may have for the upcoming season, and to identify what those different milestones will be throughout their development in the off season, and being able to really foster cohesion in the off season. I mean, it's a different time. I mean, for us, we have voluntary conditioning for football. I mean, we're in there with them, and we're going at it with them. We're working out with them. It's a different environment. We're not talking X's and O's. We're not talking anything in regards to playing the game. We're talking about getting better. We're having fun, and we're getting to know each other. And I think this is a valuable time in the off season if you're in that environment that allows you to be able to be around these athletes and these kids to develop it. This is a really good time to do it. And organization, part of this model, it really gives that focus into how can we continue to develop as a team, what kind of things can we do. So that's really how I saw the aspects of organization. Dealing with those administrative tasks, focusing on the plan for the season, and then really focus on athlete development, personal development, within the group here. What kind of things are we doing for continuity and cohesion of the group? The second area of the model is the training aspect. We're really focused on improving skills relative to the technical, tactical, and the mental aspects, which we introduced in the motor behavior class, and we talk about breaking down different skill sessions and looking at them critically from a technical, tactical, and a mental perspective. And this coaching model does the same aspect within the nature of training. But clearly, as we look at the aspects of what kind of things are we doing during the training period for the athlete relative to the tactical aspects of the game. understanding the teaching those specific strategies that we're using that gives us an advantage, that outsmarts our opponents, and being able to identify different schemes and understanding things like body position and all the different little things that come into the tactical side of playing the game. During this time as well, we look at clearly the technical side of training, which is a big component in off-season development. We're really trying to provide instruction to get better. Really trying to identify where it is that we need to, what areas that we need to enhance from a motor skill perspective, and what kind of things are we doing then, what kind of strategies do we have as a coach to develop that. Much like where I'm at right now in the season, and understanding some of the basic aspects of